Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to solve a QJ Skewb Megaminx. Now I'm not sure why Skewb is in the name because it's not a Skewb puzzle at all. It's actually a 3x3 shape mod. So here is a 3x3, basically what a lot of people call a Rubik's Cube. And if you took a Rubik's Cube and you turned it into this shape, a dodecahedron, this is the puzzle that you would get. So I'm going to explain the pieces on this puzzle. So basically these pieces which have two colours on them, these are the centres. So these are the same as these on a Rubik's Cube. Then you've got these edges. These have got three colours on them, and these are the same things as these on a Rubik's Cube. And then lastly you've got the corners, and these also have three colours on them, and these basically the same things as these on a Rubik's Cube. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scramble this. Okay, so the puzzle is now scrambled. So what I like to start off doing on pretty much any 3x3 shape mod is to make the cross, just like you would do on a regular Rubik's Cube. So let's do that. So I always like to start off with the face that has white on it. So this centerpiece, it's got purple and white on it. So next to this white, I need an edge with white on it, you know, the main colour on the edge, and it's right there. So let's move this, so let's match this up to this bit. There you go, it's now matched up. So we now need to match up these two colours on the edge with the correct centerpiece, which is this one. So I'll move this over. So you can see, even though I've brought it next to the centerpiece, it's not matching up properly. That's because the centerpiece needs to be orientated. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to turn this centerpiece so it's now orientated correctly. And now when I turn this back, it's matching up with the centerpiece. So now I'm going to look at the other colour that's on this centerpiece, which is purple. So there's actually two purple edges on this puzzle, and they look very similar to each other. The shades of purple are just slightly different. So basically one edge is a lighter purple than the other edge, and that's the edge that I'm going to be looking for to put in this place. Let's find it. So there's the darker purple there. This is the lighter purple. So let's see. So all I need to do is just bring it up to there to match it up with this centerpiece. We can see that these two colours, the green and pink, they're not matching up with this centerpiece properly, so let's move this out of the way. Flip this centerpiece around. I will bring this back. And there you go. So I've now put in two edges. So there's two more edges to go. And these are going to be put in differently. You can see, like, this isn't the correct edge, but it is positioned correctly. So you can see, like, these edges are going down like that, whereas the edge there and there, they're kind of going upwards. So basically, on both of the edges which belong in these places, on these parts, it's going to have to be white and purple to match up with this centerpiece. So let's look for an edge which has white and purple on it. So there's one, and there's the other. Let's do this one first. So the main colour on this is orange. So we look at the centres around the equator. So this is where we're making the cross. We look at the centres around the equator and find a centre with the orange on it, which is there. So I'm going to match up this orange with the orange part on this centre. So I'll just simply turn this like that. Now I'll bring this down like that, and now I'll turn it around to there, and that is the edge put in place. So let's look for the other edge with the purple and white on it, and there it is. So the main colour on this is light blue, and there is the centre that we need to match it up with because it's got light blue on it. So let's move this out of the way, turn this centre around, bring this edge back to there, and Now bring this around to there. And there you can see we've now got our cross, so all of these edges are matching this centerpiece and these centerpieces around the equator. So what I like to do now is to turn it around, and I'm now going to put the corners into this bottom layer where I've made my cross. So you can see there's already a correct corner put in place, which is this orange, white and red corner. Let's see. So this corner belongs where it is, it's just orientated incorrectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out and orientate it and put it back in the correct way. When I mean orientate, I mean just like basically turning it around either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So let's kick this out of where it is, like that, and I'll bring it over to there so it's above the space that it needs to go in. So what we do is we look at these two colours on the corner, we ignore the colour that's facing us. So if we look at the colour that's on the left of this corner, and then we look at the colour on the edge that the corner is going to be next to when we bring it down into its correct place, we can see the blue, it's not going to match with the white. When we look on the colour on the right side of the corner, we can see when we bring it down to there, the white is not going to match with this blue. So this needs to be turned either clockwise or anti-clockwise. And to do that, I'll turn the cube so the corner is on the right, and I will do an R, U2, R prime, U prime, and that has turned the corner around. So we can see the corner on the left is green, the edge on the bottom left is white, so that's no good. The colour on the right of the corner is blue, and that will match up with the right bottom edge, which is also blue. So what we need to do is again turn the puzzle so the corner is on the right, and we do this algorithm: R, U, R prime, as simple as that. And we put the correct corner into the correct place, and it's orientated correctly. So the corner that we need to put into here, it needs to be blue, purple and pink. So let's see if I can find that on this top layer. There it is, blue, purple and pink. So we'll bring it over there so it's above the space that we need to get it into. And again, we ignore the colour that's facing us and we look at these two colours. So this colour on the left is purple, it's not matching up with the blue. This colour on the right is blue, and it's not matching up with this purple edge. So let's change its orientation by turning the puzzle so it's on the right, and we do an R, U2, R prime, U prime. We've changed the orientation, and now let's look at these two colours again. We've got pink, it's not going to match with that. We've got purple, it will match with that. So we turn the puzzle so again it's on the right, and we do R, U, R prime, and that's it. We put the corner into the correct place. So this is the last corner, and it's in its correct spot, but it needs to be orientated. So let's take it out. So just do an R and a U, and then an R prime, then a U prime to bring it back over the space that it needs to go in. We ignore this colour, we look at these two colours, we can see this colour is not going to match with that, this colour isn't going to match with that. So we'll change the orientation by holding the puzzle so it's on the right, and we do an R, U2, R prime, U prime. We change the orientation and we can see that the orange on it is going to match with this. So none of these corners so far have had the correct matching colour on the left of it. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to change the orientation of this so I can show you the algorithm that you need to do if the colours that match up are on the left. So I'll just do that now. Okay, so now because I've changed the orientation, this colour isn't matching up with this anymore. So it's the colours on the left, you know, on the left of the corner and this left edge, which are going to match up. So when the colours that we need to match up are on the left, we turn the puzzle so the corner is now on the left. Remember before, when we was matching up the colours on the right of the corner and on the right edge, was holding the puzzle so the corner is on the right. When they're on the left, we turn the puzzle so the corner is on the left. And we do this algorithm. L prime, U prime, L. And now we place the corner correctly into its correct spot. And now we've fixed all of the edges across, and we've put all of the correct corners in. So now we need to put the correct edges into the correct places around the equator. So when looking for the correct edges to place into the equator, I'm going to be looking for the main colours. So for example, we can see on this centre this is red. So the edge that belongs in this place, the main colour on it is going to be red. The other two colours on it, like on this end, which aren't the main colours, they're going to be blue and orange to match up with this. So rather than look for like an edge which has blue and orange on it, I'll just look for an edge where the main colour is red, if you know what I mean. So I'm just looking for the main colours to put into the equator. So already I can see we've got the edge where the main colour is green, and it's in the correct place because this is green, but it's flipped. We need to flip it the other way. So I'm just going to kick it out by holding it so it's on the right and doing an R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, U prime, F. And so I've managed to take the edge out of where it was, and everything that I've solved so far, it's all still intact. I've not messed it up. So I'm going to place this edge with green on it correctly into here. So there's two different ways you can put an edge into its correct spot. You can hold the puzzle so the correct spot is on the left and the edge is on the right, and put it in that way. Or you can hold the puzzle so the correct spot is on the right and have the edge on the left and put the edge in that way. Depending on whether you put the edge in from the left or from the right, that will determine which way around it's flipped. So to figure out which way the edge will be flipped when it goes into its correct spot, you just imagine the edge just moving into the correct spot. So you don't imagine it moving and then flipping around, you just imagine it moving like that into its correct spot. And we can see that's going to work because this end will be there next to the green, and this end with the yellow and blue on it, it will be there next to the centre, so we know that will go in correctly. If we put it over to the right and hold the puzzle so the space is on the left, if we imagine this edge going into there, we can see it won't be right because this end with the yellow and blue on it is going to be next to the green, and this end with the green on it is going to be next to the yellow and blue. So we need this over here on the left, and we need to be holding the cube so the space is on the right. And this is the algorithm that you need to do. R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, U prime, F. And you can see we are putting the correct edge and it's flipped the correct way as well. So let's see, we have pink there, so let's look for the edge where the main colour on it is pink, and it's there. And so I can see if I hold the puzzle so the space that we put it in is on the right, and we turn the edge to the left, I can see that it's going to go in correctly, so this is where it needs to be. And we do the same algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, U prime, F, and we've put the edge in there. So let's see what colour we have here. So this is light green, so we need to look for an edge where the main colour on it is light green, and it's there, and it's in the correct position to go into here, because if we imagine it moving from there into there, it's going to be flipped the correct way around. So because this time we're moving it into there from the right rather than the left, we need to use a different algorithm, which is L prime, U prime, L, U, F, U, F prime. And you can see I've put the edge into its correct position. So there's only one edge left for the equator now, and it's the edge where the main colour on it is red, and we can see it's there. So we need to put this over to the, we need to hold the cube so the space is on the right and put this over to the left. We can see when this goes in, it's going to be flipped the correct way around. So the algorithm that we do is R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, U prime, F. And there we go, all of the correct edges have been put into the equator, so we've got just one layer left. Okay, so now what we need to do is to make the top cross, just like you would do with a regular Rubik's Cube. So on a regular Rubik's Cube, if the last layer that you're on is the yellow face, then the cross that you need to make is the yellow cross. On this, the cross that we're going to be making is going to be made up of purple and grey, because that's what this centre is. So we need to look at all of these edges and see which edges have purple and grey facing upwards. So we can see on this edge we've got purple and grey facing upwards, this edge we've got grey facing upwards, but these edges, they're not correct. You can see purple, it's not facing upwards like these two colours and this colour, and on this edge, the purple and grey, that's not facing upwards either. So if this was a regular 3x3, we would have the L shape, and when you have the L shape on a 3x3, so it would be just yellow pieces in the shape of an L, we turn it around, turn the puzzle around so the L shape is like this, and we do this algorithm: R, U, oops, B, U prime, B prime, and R prime. So now you can see that we've got the full cross, because all of the colours that are facing upwards from the edges are purple and grey. So sometimes you won't always get the L shape, you might just have like a line, or you may have none of the purple and greys facing upwards. If you have none of the purple and greys facing upwards, then you just do the algorithm that I did there, and it will give you a line, and you hold the puzzle so the line is going that way. You don't have it turned around so the line is that way. You have it so it's going that way, and then you do the same algorithm again, and you'll get the L shape, and then you do the same algorithm again, and you get this the cross shape. So now we need to match up all of the purples and greys on the edges with the purple and grey centerpiece. We can see already we've got an edge matching up with the centerpiece because we've got grey there, purple there, and on the centerpiece we've got grey there, purple there. So sometimes you'll have none of the edges matching up with the centerpiece, but that's okay because you just use the same algorithm that I'm about to show you now. So if you do have one that's matching up, you need to turn the puzzle so that edge that's matching up, it's now facing you. And you do this algorithm, and you do the same algorithm if you don't have any of the edges matching up. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Now, if none of the edges were matching up and you did that algorithm, I can't remember whether it will match up one edge the first time always, or maybe whether sometimes you may have to do the algorithm twice to get one edge matching up. So you'll either have to do the algorithm once or twice. So in this case, where I had one edge matching up with the centerpiece, doing the algorithm, it's not actually fixed any of the other edges, and that's okay because all you have to do is because sometimes it doesn't always work first time, so all we have to do is to just do the algorithm again. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime, and you can see now all of the edges are matching up with the centerpiece. So I'll just turn this top layer so all of the edges are matching up with the centerpieces around the equator. So there you go, we can see they're all matched up now. So now what we're going to do is to place all of the corners into their correct positions, and we can see we've already got a corner that's in its correct position. The other corners aren't, however. For example, this corner, it's got yellow, green and purple on it. It doesn't belong there because the correct corner, which should be here, should be yellow, pink and grey. So if one of the corners is correct, you hold the puzzle so that corner is on the right, and you do this algorithm, and if none of the corners are correct, you do the same algorithm anyway, and it will make one of the corners correct, like what we already have here. So the algorithm is U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. So you can see that didn't work, but again it's okay. It just means sometimes you can do it once and it will work, and other times you have to do it twice. So obviously in this case we have to do it twice, so let's do it again. U, whoops, U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. And you can see it's put all of the corners into their correct positions. So I think it's possible to get lucky and to, like after doing the algorithm, to have all of the corners in their correct positions and for them all to be orientated correctly. You can see that these two corners, they are orientated correctly, whereas these two corners they're not. And what you need to do with the corners which aren't orientated correctly, what you need to do is to hold the puzzle so one of the corners which isn't orientated correctly is on the right, and then you do this algorithm: R prime, D prime, R, D, and then we do that same algorithm again: R prime, D prime, R, D, and we can see the corner has now been orientated correctly. So we've got one more corner left which needs to be orientated correctly, so we'll bring it over to there and we do the same algorithm again. R prime, D prime, R, D, and then do the algorithm yet again. R prime, D prime, R, D, and we can see the corner is back where it was. Its orientation has been changed, but it's still incorrect, the orientation, and that's okay. All it means is that you just do the algorithm twice again. So R prime, D prime, R, D, R prime, oops, D prime, R, D, and now you can see the puzzle is now solved. So I'll put all of the algorithms in the description box below, explaining what you use them for, and yeah, hopefully many people are able to easily follow this tutorial. This is like it's not my first attempt at a tutorial, but this is the first time that I've tried to do a tutorial which has been successful. I've seen a lot of tutorials on YouTube which are really difficult to follow because the person doesn't really explain things in the best way, and what I hope to achieve with my tutorials is that they're just very, very easy to follow, so pretty much anyone can easily follow the tutorial and solve the puzzle. If there is anything that I have missed out, if there's anything that you don't understand, just even once this video is really old, feel free to just write a comment, tell me what you're stuck on or what you need explaining better, and I'll try my best to help you out. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.